Hey, I'm Daniel, and I'm going to take you through a week of what it's like to be a Globe and Mail intern in Toronto. Hey guys, so I'm currently a data analyst intern at the Globe and Mail and also an engineering student at the University of Waterloo. But before we jump into the week, I just want to give you a quick overview of how this video is going to break down. So it's structured into 3 sections, one on work, one on life, and then one on Q&A. Just so you know, all the timestamps for those sections will be in the description box below. So feel free to check there if there's any particular part you want to skip to. And just so you know, all the questions of our Q&A will be the same throughout our entire series. So you'll get to hear a bunch of different answers to the same questions from people doing different jobs, which will be really cool. But yeah, enough of this intro stuff. Let's get started on the week. So, like most people, my day starts with your typical commute. I grab a TTC bus, take a train to Union, and then take the shuttle that our building provides straight to the office. It takes about an hour total, so it's not super short, not super long, pretty average, I suppose. Then I grab a quick coffee and head on up. Typically, I get to the office around 9 or 9:30, but it's not super strict or anything. I just had to be at work before stand-up, which is at 10. So pretty much any time before 10, I can come in. I guess right now would be a pretty good time to mention that I'm actually not allowed to film my office for some pretty valid privacy concerns if you think about it. But besides working, I grab lunch at around 12:30 typically, and then I end work at around 5:30 to 6, depending on when I start, right? Although I'm not allowed to actually film my office, I am allowed to talk a little bit about what I do. So I'm on the data analytics team, and our main responsibility is to build infrastructure around data that other people want to do analysis on. So essentially what that means is that we do a lot of data modeling and data management so that other people can get their insights from our data faster and easier. So going back to what my actual job is, I'm a data analyst, and by now you might be wondering what exactly it is that I do. So part of the reason why my manager likes to hire an intern is that as the database gets bigger and bigger, more and more time has to be spent towards maintaining it versus improving it. So what the intern's role is in the team is to sort of experiment with new database technologies or find different ways to improve the existing database. So that's where sort of we fit in, while a lot of the other full-time employees have to make sure that everything still works as the database gets bigger and bigger, or as they're trying to make their own improvements. So right now I'm working on a graph database to model user behavior on the Globe Mail website. And by graph, I don't mean like a bar graph or a pie chart. I'm talking about the graph data type. And some of you might not be familiar with what a graph data type is, but essentially it's a data model that consists of nodes and edges, which shows relationships between things. So in this case, the containers are nodes and the edges are arrows. So this model shows that Christina, Leslie, and Twinkle all know each other and all work at Microsoft. But at the Globe and Mail, I'm working on modeling user behavior using a graph so that we can take a look at what kind of paths people are taking on our website. So the idea with a graph database is to be able to actually query based on those relationships. Going back to the previous example, you could ask things like, show me everyone who works at Microsoft, or everyone who knows Twinkle, or what mutual friends do Christina and Leslie have. Oh, and if you don't know who Christina, Leslie, and Twinkle are, they're actually last week's vloggers who are working at Microsoft Explore for the summer. So definitely go check out their vlog if you haven't seen it already right after this one. So yeah, what I've been working on for the last little bit has been that graph database, and I'm probably gonna work on it for the next little bit as well. So for some background, I did not know any of this graph database stuff going into the internship. I literally learned what a graph data type looked like last semester, not how to use it, just what it is. And now I'm learning how to do it at work, which is really cool. And I think that just goes to show you that you don't necessarily need to know everything about your position going into the co-op term, because you're going to learn so much during it. But besides work, I try to hang out with friends or relax because I don't have the stress of homework and school to deal with right now. Except for an online course actually that we have that's mandatory. It's a professional development course, so it's not super heavy. Typically you can do assignments the day before and be completely fine. But anyways, yeah, I try to hang out with as many people as I can, or as frequently as I can with people, because it's pretty boring and lonely if you get siloed off on your own for 16 weeks. Not the most fun situation to be in. So definitely try and reach out to people you know. Luckily, I happen to be from Toronto, so a lot of my high school friends happen to be in Toronto for the semester. And also a lot of people from Waterloo that I know happen to be in Toronto for co-op as well. So it's really convenient because I can reach out to either group of people and organize something, right? Just the other day, actually, I saw Santosh and Amy, who will both be sharing their internships later on in the vlog series, by the way, so stay tuned for those. But there are a couple people I met up with this past week to catch up, see how everyone's doing, see how work is. They're both on internships too. And besides meeting people in person, it's pretty easy to set something up online. So since a lot of us aren't in the same location, we set up a weekly video call where anyone who can make it just drops in, and we just chat and catch up and see how everything's going. In this instance, there's not as many people as there typically is, but regardless, would definitely recommend trying to stay up to date with people, whether it be in person or online, because you're not seeing them for like 4 months, and a lot can change. So yeah, now it's time for the Q&A section. And our first question is, why are you a data analyst? So for some context, I want to be a product manager in the future, and to me, I think it's really important for a product manager to have a good understanding of multiple disciplines, and data is one of the disciplines that I think are very useful to know, especially since a product manager oftentimes will be using data to make decisions on a product. So I thought I'd try to dive a little bit deeper into data and data analytics by taking on a data analyst role. Okay, so the next question is, what was the most difficult part of your week? And honestly, the most difficult part of my week was filming this vlog, because I have to do so much recording and most of my footage is actually not even being used, so it seems like a lot of time wasted. So overall, just like filming, editing, and then publishing all this stuff is a lot of work. But on a more work-related note, the most difficult part of my week is probably just trying to learn about new things. Like learning the graph stuff, I've never done that before. That was brand new. I'm trying to figure out how all of that works. And then writing more complicated SQL queries is a little bit more difficult because I haven't had to go to this level of complexity before. Okay, so the last question is, what was your favorite part of the week? And for me, for the past few weeks actually, have just always been meeting friends and family. I don't have school to worry about except for that one online course. So being able to just spend more time with friends and family is really great. Just talking, catching up, the small things. So that's what it's like to be a data analyst intern at the Globe Mail in Toronto. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss one of the other cool internship vlogs coming out later this summer. And let us know in the comment section below if you have any feedback or questions. And don't forget to tune in next week where Judy, who is working at Reby in Kitchener, will take you through her week as a designer. See ya.